Hello. Matt Goldberg back live again. Live and direct. How are you doing, my friends? So, the truth about flipping inventory pallets. It's boring, it's unsexy, but it makes a ton of money. Money. So, yeah, guys, I've had this conversation with quite a few people over the last few months. Not in this group, in various other groups on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well. And, you know, boring and unsexy. Interesting, isn't it? So, let me ask a question. Let me put it this way. Would you prefer a passion business? A business that you are passionate about, that doesn't make much money, or a boring and unsexy business that makes a ton of money? What would you go for? Would you go for a business that you're passionate about, but it doesn't really make much money, or a boring and unsexy business that makes a ton of money? Obviously, you're going to go for a business that's boring, unsexy, but it makes a ton of money. Yeah? Okay. So I did this poll actually in a really big business group on Facebook, and you know, the majority of people said, you know, what's boring about making a ton of money? Now, think about it, guys. All the greatest businesses in the world, think about it, all the best businesses in the world are probably boring and unsexy. Think about it. Like, if you, like Facebook, if owning Facebook, like, the back end of running Facebook is boring and unsexy. Like, you know, running Amazon is pretty boring and unsexy. A lot of the best businesses in the world are boring and unsexy at the end of the day. You know, it's just true. Now, the thing is with this business, when you're starting in this business especially, and you know, even for me, after all these years, a lot of the humdrum, a lot of the repetitive things that you do each day, they're not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not, you know, it's not like a party. It's pretty boring, really. These repetitive things that you've got to do each day. But at the end of the day, if it makes money, it doesn't matter if it's boring and if it's unsexy, if it's unglamorous. It doesn't matter if it makes it, you know, if it's boring. Like, I don't mind boring and unsexy as long as it's making me money. And you know, the things that I do each day in my business to make money, like, you know, building contacts, building connections. It's not glamorous. Building contact lists and building email lists and, you know, making connections on LinkedIn. There's nothing sexy about it. It's just one of the things that you've got to do repetitively, consistently. And doing those things repetitively and consistently each week are what makes you money in this business. And you know, you speak to anyone in a business that's like, you know, boring and unsexy, but it makes them a lot of money. They will tell you, you know, that every single time, you know, boring and unsexy beats you know, something that you're passionate about. Like, passionate doesn't pay the bills, okay? Passionate doesn't pay for your holidays. Passionate doesn't pay your mortgage. Passionate doesn't, like, do a lot of things. Like, you can be passionate about starting a business, and you can be passionate about a business that you run, but does passion really pay the bills? Does passion make you money? Not a lot of the time it doesn't, no. You know, a lot of the time, some of the best money-making businesses are boring and unsexy. And that is a fact. You know, look at all the big entrepreneurs in the world and look at what they do. Like, none of what they do is glamorous or sexy or, you know, like, I'm not saying, like, fun and enjoyable is completely different to boring and unsexy. Like, I still have fun in my business. I still enjoy what I do in my business because it makes me money. But I'm not saying it's, you know, I'm passionate about it. Like, at the moment, what I am passionate about in my business is actually, my passion in my business is more about the process. Like, if you enjoy the process and forget about the actual results, getting results and the money bit at the end, you know, if you enjoy the process of what you do, that is different to, you know, boring and unsexy and glamorous, etc. You've got to enjoy the process of anything that you do, whatever business you're in or whatever job you're in. You've got to enjoy that process. The process is that bit that you're doing between waking up and going to bed on a night, or coming home from work. You know, that process, like that journey of doing what you've done through that day, which basically that process includes all the little wins that you get through the day, and all the wins that you get through the day. It doesn't mean money in the bank, okay? Obviously, yeah, we want money in the bank, but a lot of that process and journey that you're on each day, you're just looking for little wins through the day. Little wins can include, you found a website with some great companies on there where you can actually build a list of contacts that you can reach out to, or you've reached out to some new connections and you've got a few replies and you've made a few great new connections where there's going to be some potentially a deal that's going to come out of that. That is a win. Okay, a win is getting some good contacts. Building contacts is not glamorous and it's not sexy and it's boring pretty much. But you know, at the end of the day, the rewards you can reap from these connections that you make are like there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling to what you can earn on the back of those connections that you are making each day or each week. So that, you know, the truth really about this business is, no, it's not sexy, it's not glamorous, it's not, it is boring sometimes, but the money is good. Okay, the money is good. And you know, I've always said, I would start any business that's boring and unsexy a million times over, you know, something that I'm passionate about. You see a lot of these groups and websites, and you see a lot of people talking in groups about, oh, you know, start something that you're passionate about, start a business that you're passionate about. Like, you know, I'll call bullshit on that, like, every time, because it's not about being passionate about something. It just isn't, okay? And even if you are passionate about a business, or you start a business that you are passionate about, does that mean to say that you're going to have days where it's boring and unsexy and unglamorous and, you know, it's not really like, you know, bells and whistles and fancy and beautiful and fabulous and it's a party? No, business isn't like that. You know, in like most businesses that make money, it's pretty boring, it's pretty unsexy, it's pretty unglamorous, but if it's making a ton of money, who cares? Who the fuck cares? You know? And like I say, I will jump into any business opportunity that's boring and unsexy over something that I'm possibly passionate about if it's going to make me more money. And at the end of the day, that's what business is. It's about making money. And yeah, it's about enjoying the process. Sure, there's a lot of times when we're working on deals or we're being offered some deals that it's a buzz, it's exciting, it's fun. But would you call it sexy? Would you call it would you call it like glamorous or whatever? It's not a glamorous career. It's not a glamorous business. But I'm all about like that end result. Which is money in the bank, and I don't care how it comes. If we get money in the bank and it comes from running a business that's boring and unsexy, then so be it. But I know plenty of people, and especially a lot of people that set up like an online store, they've fallen in love with an idea on some products they want to sell online or on eBay or on Amazon or wherever, their own website, and they fall in love with the idea, they fall in love with the product, and they're passionate about it, and then they go out of business after 3 months. And a lot of people who set up a passionate business end up going out of business very, very quickly because passion doesn't pay the bills. And it's all good being passionate about a business, but at the end of the day, passion isn't always guaranteed to make a business successful just because you're passionate about it. It just doesn't work like that sometimes. There's lots of businesses that people have started that they're not really passionate about it, but it makes a lot of money. And the thing is with businesses where you're passionate about it, you've got lots of passion about what you sell and the people that you serve. But, at the end of the day, that isn't always guaranteed to pay the bills. And, going back to the title of this video, the truth about the inventory flipping business, it's boring, it's unsexy, but it makes a ton of money. And that's so true about this business. There's a lot of legwork, there's a lot of groundwork that you have to do each week to build contacts, to build new connections, and on the back of those connections you're getting offered inventory deals that you're working on to try and turn into a profitable deal. And that is not a sexy and glamorous thing all the time. It just isn't. There's a lot of fun in this business, but I won't call it sexy, But yeah, as I say, the truth about this business is that it can make a ton of money, guys. But don't ever come into it thinking, ooh, I'm passionate about this business. I'm passionate about it. Don't ever think that about this business, because it's not a passionate business. It's not a passion type business. The only thing I'm passionate about is not the end result, not the money part of it, but the process, the actual process of making some contacts, getting offered some inventory from some of those contacts, and then turning that into a deal. That middle bit, the process part, the journey part of this business is what I love, what I'm passionate about. And also now I'm passionate about helping my students get results in this business. That is a real passion to me. That is not boring or unsexy. That is a passionate thing for me, helping my students get results and getting money in the bank. That is something I'm passionate about, more so than deals that I do myself. I absolutely love, that is a new chapter for me in my later life. It's a new chapter for me, having people on board that I'm helping now, and helping them get results, answering their questions, tweaking things so they can move the needle in their business and make more money in their business. So that's it, guys. That is the truth about this business. Okay, if you're coming into it and you're thinking, you're gonna get passionate about it. If you think it's gonna be like running a nightclub or running a cool wine bar full of sexy people, it's not, guys. You sat at your computer building contacts, emailing contacts, reaching out to contacts on various platforms, and going through offers on email and sending offers out to potential buyers. There's nothing sexy about that whatsoever. However, it can make a ton of money, guys, and that's what business is about. Passion doesn't pay the bills. Passion doesn't get you on some nice holidays, okay? But a lot of boring and unsexy businesses can get you a long way financially, and give you certainly give you a great lifestyle. Ask anyone who runs a boring and unsexy business and they'll tell you exactly the same. Alright, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Lots of love. Take care.